Carolina deferred, so we'll see the Bears on offense. Reese Lloyd will kick it off. Danielle Manning is deep for the Bears, and here we go. Manning, line drive kick at the goal line. 3 blockers in front of him. He breaks through for a big one. Reese Lloyd trying to slow him down. Manning stays on his feet, caught from behind inside the 40-yard line. Great return by the speedy safety Danielle Manning, one of the top return men in the NFL. And he was caught by Mike Goodson from behind.
Always been a huge fan. Look, there's nobody down there. Why is there nobody down there? Because it was a line drive low kick. So Danielle Manning was already on his horse running, and the coverage units were not even halfway to him down the football field. So partly a bad kick, but that guy is electric, Danielle Manning.
62-yard return. Now from the 38, Matt Forte runs into a pile, gets about a yard, maybe 2. Inside the 37-yard line. There is Todd Collins, who last started in 2007 with the Washington Redskins. Matt Forte, expect him to run the ball. We'll see a lot of Chester Taylor. The offensive line, Jamarcus Webb making his first NFL start. Edwin Williams had a couple of starts when he was with Washington. 2 tight ends on the field. Forte carrying, not much there, bounces it outside and turns the corner. Good run by Matt Forte. A first down at the Carolina 23-yard line. Dan Connor chased him out. Forte is strong and quick.
Well, and the Bears need to run the football. And you'll watch, they've got Forte boxed up right here, but he pops out, and there's no corner support. See, Jordan Pugh is coming off the edge. He fights inside and just loses contain. Great job by Forte, who has got very, very good vision. These guys have got to run the ball today. Jay Cutler, Mike Martz, look for some balance, Sam, by this offensive line and this offense. 3
wide receivers in. Collins with a little slant to Devin Hester. He's got it, and he's down at the 18-yard line. A pickup of 5 on the play. Check out Carolina on defense. They play a 4-3. No more Julius Peppers there. They'll try to get pass rush from Charles Johnson. The linebackers are excellent. James Anderson, a big game against New Orleans last week with 15 tackles. The rookie Jordan Pugh starting for the injured Sherrod Martin, who's out with a concussion. Toss to Forte. By himself, he turns the corner, and he's in. Touchdown! The Bears wanted to run the ball a lot more than they did last week, and Matt Forte with a couple of big runs on this drive.
Well, and this is something, if you watch on tape, you'll see the crash down right here, which is going to give the edge on the flip 90. See, John Beeson, who's got outside contained, because Tyler Brayton was crashing down, took a bad angle. That's called the old flip 90, where it's just weak. You flip it out to the weakness of the defense, and then Forte turned on the juice for the touchdown.
First rushing touchdown of the season for the Chicago Bears. Carolina's Jimmy Clausen, the rookie out of Notre Dame, leads his team onto the field. D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart, a 1-2 running combination for Carolina. That's big. You saw the 2 rookie wide receivers starting. The offensive line strong on the left side. Jordan Gross will see a lot of his good friend Julius Peppers. 2 tight ends, Jeff King and Dante Rosario, open up for Carolina. D'Angelo Williams looking for room. Nothing there. Lance Briggs wraps him up. No gain on the play at the 39-yard line. Brings up a 2nd and 10 for Carolina. The Bears defense, the 4-3. It's led by Julius Peppers. They're looking for someone else to jump out and help them out up front. Linebackers are superb. Briggs and Urlacher playing well, so is Pisatino Samoa. Chris Harris started with the Bears, went to Carolina for 3 years, is back with the Bears. Gary Barnidge, tight end motions. Big hole for D'Angelo Williams. And he is brought down inside the Bears 40 by Danielle Manning, the safety. And that's what makes him so dangerous. He hits the hole. It was a good one.
Well, and a great call to go opposite. Look at all the guys over here. All the Bears, look at you, clearly got room here. You get 1 block, and D'Angelo is going to be off to the races. And there's the block right there. Fiametta with a very good block. Travell Wharton is going to seal on the inside linebacker, Lance Briggs. And then D'Angelo Williams taking it down past the 40-yard line.
23-yard run down to the 38. It's Williams again going the other side. He breaks a tackle, and it takes 3 Bears to bring him down at the 32-yard line. Tim Jennings, the first man to wrap him up, but he needed help.
Well, we all remember Brad Hoover. Brad Hoover's gone now. Now it's Tony Fiametta, and he's going to get a good block right here on the edge. Watch, right on the perimeter. Bang. He gets the block, kicks out Briggs, and then it opens up the hole to where Jennings has got to peel back inside, and it ends up being a 6 or a 7-yard gain.
Jonathan Stewart is in, replacing D'Angelo Williams on 2nd and 4. And they stop the play. Looks like a false start against Carolina.
False start. Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty to the second.
That's the right tackle, Jeff Schwartz. Schwartz starting at right tackle in place of Jeff Ota, who hasn't been out on the field yet. He's been out injured. If Ota gets back, Schwartz would move inside to right guard.
Correct. And they missed Jeff Ota. I mean, one thing, that the strength of this team, you go back to last year, there's Ota right there, who had a setback with his knee right before training camp. The strength of this team has clearly always been the run game.
2nd and 9. Jonathan Stewart stumbled and gets hit hard and thrown back. Chris Harris with the first hit. Tino Samoa with help for Chris Harris.
You're going to see Chris Harris really and listed as a safety, and that's what he is. He's a strong safety, very, very good tackler. Was here in Carolina for 3 years, then back to Chicago where he started his career. He's got his little cowboy collar on, that little neck roll. He'll be playing a lot of in the box today with Carolina, liking to run the football with a fullback on the field. We've already seen that. You'll see a lot of Chris Harris up in the combat zone trying to make tackles in the run game.
There's 3rd and 8. And they run it again, and Jonathan Stewart gets down to the 11-yard line. Carolina staying with the ground game. A great 1-2 punch of D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart. This is a 24-yard run.
Very good block by Bernardo. Watch, they're going to catch Melton in a slant. Bernardo's going to block down on him, and watch the crease. You see that? Bang. And then you get Ryan Khalil, gets a real good block on the guard. They kick it down with Bernardo, and then Khalil with a block. 5 straight runs, gashing the Bears defense.
They haven't thrown the ball. David Geddes in motion. Draw play to D'Angelo Williams. Urlacher wraps him up. Gain of a yard on the play. Good job by Carolina running the football.
I think you go back to their first 4 games, and sustaining drives has been a huge problem for them. One of the worst teams in the league at 3 and outs. More than 50% of their drives have ended in 3 and outs. So getting Jimmy Clausen in a nice little game rhythm, not throwing the ball, but a game rhythm to his running backs will take pressure off of him later for the play action pass game.
Tommy Harris in a defensive tackle for the Bears on 2nd and 9. Here's Williams again, cuts it back, was hit by Peppers, falls forward to the 8-yard line.
There's the number I was talking about, Sam. With the 46 possessions on offense, 24 of them have ended in 3 and outs, 3 plays or less.
And they've had 5 10-play drives, end up with no points.
And there's issues to that. Obviously, you don't get continuity, but when it's 3 and out, you don't get any adjustments on the sideline for your defense.
Henry Melton in a defensive tackle for the Bears. 8th play of this drive for Carolina, all on the ground. D'Angelo Williams wrapped up by Lance Briggs, who took him down at the 6-yard line, and that'll bring up a 4th down. So they didn't put the ball in the air at all on the drive. On a 3rd and long, Bears start from the 32-yard line. 3 wide receivers, Johnny Knox, Earl Bennett, and Devin Aromashadu. Todd Collins checking off with Matt Forte is running back. It's Forte cutting it back. Gets some room. Forte turns it into a big one. The chase is on. Forte will win the race. Touchdown. 68 yards. The Chicago Bears had no rushing touchdowns coming into this game this season. Matt Forte has put 2 on the board. A career long for in regular season for Matt Forte.
Here's the key here, Godfrey. Todd Collins changes the play over here. Godfrey hits it there, and it's a cutback right to where he's supposed to be. Really a good job by Todd Collins. Say, okay, you're going to put Godfrey down. Contrast in the numbers, and they got 14 points to show for it.
Jonathan Stewart in at running back, carries behind the block of Tony Fiametta, but no gain. No gain. It was shut down by Israel Adonijay. Let's get an update on what the Packers are doing. Let's go to Kurt Menefee.
Good before the bad for Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers hooking up with Donald Lee on a 5-yard touchdown for a 7-0 lead against the Redskins. But Lee has left the game with a shoulder injury. He was playing because Jermichael Finley had to leave the game with a knee injury. Sam and Tim?
Ooh, I hate that.
Well, those injuries for Green Bay, and they have piled up over the last couple of weeks. They are a mash unit.
3 wide receivers in. Amani Edwards, former quarterback at Appalachian State, is in and a pass blocked, and it falls. Did Peppers catch it? The Bears are saying they got it, and the officials say they got it.
Oh, yeah,
Julius Peppers with the block and the interception. What a play.
Yeah, an incredible play. He had 6 interceptions here as a Carolina Panther. Watch what he does here. They try to chop him. Out here on the right side, Jeff Schwartz, is going to try to chop him. Pep's going to get right back up and get his hand up. Boom, right there. There's that low throw. Launch point by Clausen, and then Pep just concentrating, staying with it. Left arm up, bang. Now I'm going to look at the football down to my knees and come up with the catch, the interception.
Bears at the Panthers, 27. Chester Taylor in, but they go end around to Devin Hester. Picks up a block and is pushed out of bounds at the 17-yard line. What a play by a tremendous athlete. We know he's a great football player and a top defensive end. He's a great athlete.
I think he's the best athlete ever to play defensive end in pro football, and there's been some great ones, no question. This guy's 300 pounds now. He came in at 283. He's 300 pounds, and look at the agility.
Oh, man. League, the giveaways 13, most of the league. 2 tight ends in. D'Angelo Williams gets across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Brian Urlacher makes the tackle.
And Brian Urlacher in year 11 is playing great. You turn on the tape and you watch this guy. Here he is here. He's going to hit Jordan Gross right in the mouth right here and then make the tackle. Pow, right there, disengages, keeping his outside arm free. Clinic, textbook. Run defending by Urlacher, and he's healed up, Sam. His first year off last year because of his wrist injury sets in 7th grade.
Clausen to put it up, pressure, Adonijay takes him down. The ball comes loose, and it's recovered by the Panthers, but good pressure from the other side this time by Israel Adonijay. And John Fox concerned about his offense.
Remember we talked about the play fakes. Adonijay is going to get the ball out, but play fakes and play action. Look, that's not going to sell anybody. The linebackers are already on their horses trying to backpedal and get into coverage. And then Jeff Schwartz beat by Israel Adonijay right there for a sack and a forced fumble for the big fella there, number 71.
Only the 5th sack of the season for the Bears, the 2nd for Israel Adonijay.
And they need that to improve. Julius Peppers needs help from somebody else.
Panthers have to get to the 30 for a first down. Peppers pressuring, chasing Clausen. He throws short, and it's taken out of bounds by D'Angelo Williams. Good pressure from Julius Peppers. Broke that play apart, and Carolina will be forced to punt.
Well, and wait as they start to develop other guys. Henry Melton, I think, is a guy they like in Chicago. Israel Adonijay, we just saw the sack and the forced fumble there. Julius Peppers needs help. All the great ones do. Otherwise, you just scheme them up, put 2 guys on them, and you're not worried about other guys beating your one-on-one matchups.
Jason Baker to punt it. Bears should get great field position. Line drive kick toward the sideline. Hester takes it inbounds. Brings it back down the sideline. He is going. He's trying to get by Baker, and Baker got enough of him to push him out of bounds. Otherwise, it would have been another touchdown for Devin Hester, who has had 12 in his career. He knows he was close.
I'll tell you, Jason Baker did his job. You want a directional kick. You want to get it over to the sideline. Almost had it right on the sideline. Watch this.
This is a great play.
It's a great play. Stays in bounds. One little fake inside, and now he's just sprinting down the sideline, and Baker, after the very good punt over to the side, is the one that gets him out of bounds.
50-yard return. Bears have the ball first and goal at the Carolina 9-yard line. Chester Taylor in the backfield. Brandon Manamalayuna lines up as the fullback. Taylor cuts it back. He's heading for the end zone. He's in. Well, no side. I thought he was in. Taylor thinks he's in. The officials are looking at one another. Yes. Touchdown Bears. Their third rushing touchdown of the game. That's a point of emphasis there, Tim.
Yeah, and they get some good blocks up front. This is what we were talking about. Edwin Williams right there. Now watch Cruz gets to the center and the nose guard, and then able up to the backer. And that creates a huge crease inside for Chester Taylor. Point of emphasis, get people moved at the point of attack.
Todd Collins, the quarterback. Matt Forte back in at running back. Forte over 100 yards following Roberto Garza. It's a yard on the play.
When you say the Bears are running the ball, they're running at will with some big pops. Here's the first touchdown. They'll flip 90, and look at Beeson. Bad angle. He's the contained force guy, and he just gets outflanked by Matt Forte, and then some very, very good blocks by the offensive line. Tyler Brayton gets washed down the line of scrimmage by Brandon Manamalayuna. Godfrey gets sucked inside the safety, and Forte takes it the distance.
Collins back to throw, gets time, short to Forte out of the backfield. Matt Forte leads the team in rushing and receptions, one of 4 players in the NFL to lead his team in both categories. Always a good receiver. Using the pass from Collins.
Yeah, and it's pretty wild after they lost that game Sunday night. You would have thought the Bears were an 0-4 football team with just everybody. It was, it's over, and with all the sacks. And tell you, they beat a very good Dallas team. We know that in week 2, and what they did to Green Bay on Monday night. Got to be proud of these guys.
This is third and less than a yard. Chester Taylor in the backfield. Follows Manamalayuna. Pulls his way forward, and it looks like he's got enough for the first down. Needed to get across the 29.
Well, that was all Chester Taylor, who was stacked up at the point of attack. Mike Martz told us last night, Chester Taylor's only gotten 6 touches per game. Not nearly enough in the caliber of player he is. And Mike said it last night. He goes, this guy's a violent runner. We've got to keep him involved, especially in the short yardage and goal line run game.
3 wide receivers in, you're right, but when you have a player like Matt Forte, you've got to give Forte a lot of touches in the game. Forte with a cutback. And is spun down at the 32-yard line. Pickup of 3 on the play. Charles Johnson, the defensive end.
I understand what you're saying, but number 1, you pay Chester Taylor a lot of money.
Yep.
Number 2, all the good teams have 2. I mean, there's going to be a time where there's a hamstring or there's a nick or Forte just needs a breather. And to have a guy like Chester Taylor, what a feather in your cap to know there's not a huge drop-off. And they have different skill sets.
Nick Hayden in a defensive tackle for the Panthers. Swing it out to Forte with some room. Gamble is there. He avoids 2 men, 3 men, and is finally brought down. Great moves by Matt Forte. Dan Connor, the middle linebacker, and James Anderson combined on the tackle, but a first down up at the 46-yard line.
And what he does to Gamble and to Charles Godfrey in space here. Watch this move. Watch this. Whoop, right to the inside. Both of them catch an air and miss. And I'm telling you, Forte, I remember he busted onto the scene as a rookie against Indianapolis, and I know there's a long way to go. I said, this guy's running style and his style in the open field reminds you of a young Marcus Allen.
He's special. 2 tight ends in. Olsen motions. Chester Taylor takes the delayed handoff and gets a yard on the play. Good play up front by the Panthers, who now have Greg Hardy and Everett Brown in at defensive ends.
Looky there, 44 receptions last year with the Minnesota Vikings, and that's as a change of pace guy with Adrian Peterson as the bell cow, only 5 here with the Chicago Bears. So there's room, if you got a good one, to get the guy behind him his touches. They were able to do it in Minnesota with Chester and Adrian.
2nd and 10 for the Bears. Collins gets time. Waits, throws for Olsen, and overthrows him. Olsen had a little room. Todd Collins missed him. First start for Todd Collins since 2007 when he started 3 games for the Washington Redskins late in the season. Won them all. They got into the playoffs, then lost in the first round at Seattle. Veteran guy, bright guy, and I think that's one of the reasons he was brought in during training camp. There's Jay Cutler, who's out with a concussion but is expected to be back next week. In fact, before the game today, he was out throwing passes in the warm-ups. Collins out of the shotgun, going deep, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by the rookie Jordan Pugh. Scored. Last 3 times it's been 2 interceptions and a punt. Forte on the delay, gets about a yard on the play. And credit the Panthers with some of that. Their defense has come together the last 3 series.
Think about this, and it goes back to last week. They had no chance in that game without the 2 forced turnovers early in the game against Drew Brees when they were threatening to get some points. So I think when you look at this defense, the youth on the defense, they're playing about as good as they can play. Beeson's made a position change over at weak side linebacker now because of the injury to Thomas Davis. Hard to cut the field in half for Beeson. I love him much more in the middle where he's a sideline-to-sideline guy.
2nd and 9. The play fake by Collins. Connor's got a piece of it. The ball banded up. Intercepted. 3rd takeaway of the game by the Carolina Panthers. As Everett Brown came down with a football. Again, a batted pass. We've seen a couple of those in this game on both sides.
Here's Danny Connor right here. It's the Mars blitz, where you send the Sam first, and you got the Mike coming second. Mike Sam. There's the M and the S for Mars. Danny Connor gets it, pops it up in the air. Turnover number 3 today as Everett Brown comes down with the interception.
I thought Nick Hayden got the block.
Did he get the block?
I thought Hayden got the block and Brown came down with the ball, but good pressure. You're right on Dan Connor's part. So the Bears have been guilty of turnovers. 3 interceptions. Wildcat formation with the rookie Armani Edwards, former quarterback of Appalachian State. The handoff is to David Geddes, and the Bears have it. Diagnosed Tim Jennings with a good tackle at the 49-yard line. That's a loss. So a little trick play tried by Jeff Davidson, the offensive coordinator, comes up losing yards. Good field position by the Panthers after the takeaway, and as we told you earlier, they have not been able to capitalize on those takeaways. They stay with a Wildcat formation.
Monty Edwards can throw it now.
This is his first NFL game. He's been inactive the first 4. They fake the handoff. Edwards looking and runs with it. He's got good speed. He was drafted as a return man, and they list him as a wide receiver. He's only 5'11", but he was a quarterback at Appalachian State for 4 years.
And his numbers are ridiculous and prolific in college football. He won the Walter Payton Award 2 times in college, and I mean that's an unbelievable feat. He's the only guy that's ever been able to do that. The thing I've been most impressed, and he's been inactive and hasn't played this year, but just watching him throw in practice, the athleticism's obvious, but he throws like Mike Vick. I mean, it's not a lefty-loosey. It is a lefty laser when Armani Edwards releases it.
Jimmy Clausen back in with D'Angelo Williams on 3rd and 10. Clausen rolls and throws, and it's caught, but out of bounds. The rookie, Brandon LaFell, was out of bounds when he caught it. No points on the board from those takeaways. Toss to Forte, led by Manamaliuna. Gets outside. Got away from Beeson. Chased out of bounds by the safety, Charles Godfrey. First down for the Bears.
3 interceptions by Todd Collins today. Here they are. Here's the first one to a defensive lineman, Ed Johnson. That one really hurts because you're in scoring position. Then he throws it late and overthrows Johnny Knox. Jordan Pugh gets the interception. And then the batted ball there by Nick Hayden that Everett Brown's able to jump up and pick off the deflection.
Matt Forte's last run was 14 yards, 10 carries, 126 yards for Matt Forte. Forte carries again. Dan Connor on the stop up at the 29-yard line. We're coming down to the 2-minute warning. Lawson has taken over. In his first year in the NFL. Chester Taylor with a good run up to the 39-yard line and a Bears first down.
Chester is such an underrated, solid running back. He was in Baltimore. Baltimore let him go, went to Minnesota. He became that bell cow. He's equally effective running inside, outside, and an underrated receiver as well out of the backfield.
Rasheed Davis in at the third wide receiver spot. Lines up in the slot. Taylor carries, spins, and gets up to the 40-yard line. And the clock running. Bears have ripped up some yardage on the ground. 166 yards rushing in the first half. Led by Matt Forte.
Remember I said earlier 4 yards is what you shoot for as an offense or as a defense to keep them under 4? Well, Carolina's okay at 4 too, but put that in comparison with Mike Martz's offense is doing. It's ridiculous. 9.2 a carry.
Again, 3 wide receivers. And it's Taylor. And a good job by Beeson fighting off the block to make the tackle. John Beeson in his 4th year, solid linebacker.
Watch Beast right here. Cruz is going to be the guy that tries to block him. Beason's going to slow play it, slow play it, slow play it. Now fire his gun right to the outside shoulder of Cruz. Take on Olin, disengage, and make a tackle. Special player, John Beeson.
Bears taking the time. You see Beeson's numbers. The leading tackler for the Panthers the last 3 seasons. Collins to put it up. Looking to set up the screen. And Taylor is hit. The ball popped loose. It's an incomplete pass. Oh, he took quite a shot from Captain Munnerlyn, the cornerback.
Been to the edge. It's been to the perimeter. It's been cut back. It's been up the middle. He's really having a great game.
D'Angelo Williams carries. And didn't get much. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Take a look at the numbers first half. The Bears with 188 yards total offense. 168 on the ground, and Tim just checked off what Carolina put up. Only 8 yards passing for Carolina in the first half.
No, it's brutal for them offensively. Give a lot of credit to the Bears defense, who are playing outstanding today, and really it's the 3 turnovers by their defense, that being Carolina, that's kept this thing close. Looks like Travell Wharton, left guard, on the sideline getting looked at.
Replaced by Gary Williams. Clausen wanted to put it up, decides to run and dives as he saw Brian Urlacher and Israel Adonijah converging. And he got up to the 31-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd and 9. Gary Williams is a 2nd-year tackle out of Kentucky, replacing Travell Wharton at guard.
Yeah, what happened is he's out at right tackle. They moved Jeff Schwartz down to right guard, and they moved Mackenzie Bernardo over to left guard. So now you're going to have Gary Williams potentially lined up on Julius Peppers, and we got it right now.
Yeah, there's Peppers. Came right to that side to challenge the new man. It's picked up by the back, and the pass is complete to David Geddes. Short slant pattern and a first down for the Panthers. Brings cheers from the crowd. A 10-yard pickup on the play.
I'd say if there's any chemistry in the passing game, it's between those guys right there, David Geddes and Jimmy Clausen, because really all summer long they were on the 2nd unit together.
At the 41-yard line, D'Angelo Williams, the running back, straight ahead, gets a couple of yards up to the 43. Only 4 first downs in the game for the Carolina Panthers.
Well, and these numbers will tell you why. Look at what they've done on first down. Average yards on first down. All the coaches in the NFL, everyone talks 3rd down. They'll all tell you how important first down is. A half a yard average on first down, and then you look at how that translates to the 3rd and longs, which cuts your playbook by 2/3 at least. There's Jeff Davidson right in the middle, the offensive coordinator.
Got Jeff Schwartz back at right tackle. Here's Clausen being chased by Peppers, and he threw it away.
The range of Julius Peppers. You know, most quarterbacks, they see an end come upfield like that, and they've got the ability to run away from him, get out of the pocket, and throw it away, and buy some time. Peppers will close the gap on you so fast. See, right now, Jimmy's like, all right, no problem. It's a defensive end. I'm going to, You just got to unload it. 300 pounds for a long strider. Pep has got exceptional quickness and ability to burst.
Here's 3rd and 8 for the Panthers. Travell Wharton is back in the game at left guard. Jeff Schwartz has moved back to right tackle. Clausen, flag on the play. He's got a free play here. He's waiting for someone to come open, and again he throws it away. He's out of the pocket as he was on the previous play. There's no intentional grounding, but the fans are unhappy with the fact that Carolina is unable to do anything. Struggle, 3 interceptions and 2 punts after a great start to the game. Forte trying to bounce it outside. Charles Johnson got a piece, and then he's knocked out of bounds by Richard Marshall at the 19-yard line.
He's just so shifty, and he's got a great straight arm, and he's always matriculating, if you will, up the field. He's always got his legs pumping, the good running backs do, and he's his own best blocker. They had him stuffed up there about for a 1-yard gain, and he was able to bust it out and pick up a couple of more yards.
Forte and Malamaliuna lining up in the backfield. Malamaliuna is the fullback. The toss to Forte. Trying to pick up a block, and Connor with a good job, helped out by John Beeson. Good job by the defense of the Carolina Panthers.
And look at Matt Forte right here. The old flip 90 misdirection. You get Beeson attacking upfield. He runs by him. Now you have a cutback. Look at the vision here by Matt Forte. Ridiculously good. Now right there again, breaking tackles, getting to the perimeter, and then he can also run it right up the middle. He can get right in the action, and then there's that straight arm I was talking about. That's on a pretty good player, John Beeson right there, who takes one right to the grill.
Bears, who were 0 for 13 on 3rd down conversions last week, 1 for 6 in the game today. 3rd and 6. Collins for Hester, and he dropped it. He was open. They had Hester in motion. He slanted in. The pass was there, but Hester dropped it. Panthers from their own 39. Jonathan Stewart with a short pickup. Panthers with a field goal in the game. Last 6 possessions have ended in punts.
We did the game a couple years ago here. Remember, the Bears went in at halftime, came back out in the second half, and they had it, and they let it slip away. And it was a couple of big runs by Jonathan Stewart in the second half of that game that was able to get it done for the Carolina Panthers.
Panthers have David Clowney, wide receiver, along with David Geddes. Off the play fake, Clausen completes it to the tight end Dante Rosario. Rosario down at the 43-yard line. Clausen gets up slowly, a little limp.
And he didn't even get hit. That was on air. Urlacher was coming to the side of him. Nobody hit him. Watch him here. He's going to set back. He's going to get to his back foot. The ball is going to come out. Tweak something.
It was straight. Henry Melton in at defensive tackle for the Bears, number 69. On 3rd down, Clausen throwing for Rosario, leaping attempt, he's out of bounds. Did not come down inbounds. Great effort as he was covered by Pisatino Isamoa. We invite you to bid on authentic Game Day NFL Pink products at NFL.com/auction. That pass outside is caught by LaFell. And the Panthers with a 1st down at the Bears' 37-yard line. Pressure from Henry Melton, who's in at defensive end. Bears giving Julius Peppers a rest. Have Corey Wooten in.
Now LaFell gets up limping.
Yeah.
Not good. I'll tell you, though, it took time for that thing to develop. You had Geddes, who was flying down the field vertically. LaFell came all the way from the opposite direction, and Jimmy Clausen bought some time with his feet and delivered a strike.
Angelo Williams trying to cut it back. Good job up front, and a little help on the outside from the cornerback, Zach Bowman, who's in the game in place of Tim Jennings. Williams getting a yard down to the 36-yard line. D'Angelo Williams with 12 carries, 51 yards, had a 23-yard run in the first half.
And I will bet you anything that the phone has been ringing off the hook, hoping that Carolina would trade a guy like D'Angelo Williams. Final year of his deal. Trade deadline coming up next week. Bet you it's been red hot on the phones. I don't think they're going to move him, though.
I wouldn't. Clausen puts it up deep, too far for David Clowney. Of the wide receivers dressed today for the Carolina Panthers, 3 rookies, and Clowney, who's the third-year man. Clowney's the only man with an NFL touchdown. He has 1. The rest, none. They're all getting their initiation.
And think about how much more difficult it makes it for a rookie quarterback when you don't have a guy like Steve Smith out there. See, one thing about Steve is not only was he a great player, but he helped the quarterback because they always tilted coverage. Made it much easier for the quarterback to read the coverages when Steve Smith's on the field.
Peppers and Adonijay back in. Peppers lining up a tackle here. And on third down, Clausen rolls, looking downfield and throwing and completing it short to David Clowney inside the 30 at the 28-yard line. And still has that strong leg. He had plenty of distance on that last field goal. Chester Taylor in the backfield off the play fake. Collins to Taylor. And Taylor gets up to the 47-yard line. James Anderson brings him down. Good play on first down. Bears offense has really stalled after a good start to the game. Last 2 possessions have been 3 and out. They've had 3 interceptions and 4 punts on the last 7 possessions.
I like the fact that they are getting the ball more to Chester Taylor. That's his 10th touch today. They only average 6 touches a game, so concerted effort to get him the rock today.
Knox and Hester, the wideouts. Collins off the plate fake, being rushed, down he goes. Oh, hit hard. James Anderson and Nick Hayden combined on the sack. And Reds battling in their series. 70 is Edwin Williams. 73 is Jamarcus Webb. Webb, a 7th-round draft pick in his first NFL start. Collins under pressure, he throws, and it's intercepted by the safety Charles Godfrey. 4th interception of the game for the Panthers, and Godfrey is out of bounds at the Bears' 43-yard line. There's a flag down.
Offense number 73 is declined. First down.
Yeah, you were just talking about Jamarcus Webb. He held Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson hits the quarterback right as he's letting it go, but he wants it up the seam. Watch the safety read the eyes of the quarterback. Charles Godfrey, you absolutely love safeties in this league that have cornerback skill. He started 25 games at corner at Iowa. He was down and covering his part of the field. Read the eyes of the quarterback. The ball was in the air way too long. Gave him the time to come over and get the interception.
4th interception thrown by Todd Collins today. That is a career high or career low. Clausen goes to the end zone for a man. It's batted away. Danielle Manning broke it up. He had a man open, but he underthrew it.
Oh, he had him open and threw it way too late. It took Jimmy far too long to decide that he was going to unload this thing. LaFell right down the seam. Okay, he's open right now. Jimmy holds on to the ball too long, ends up clearly underthrowing it, and it should have been picked by Danielle Manning. Missed opportunity by the Carolina offense.
Panthers still trying to come up with points off of takeaways. This is their 4th of the game. They haven't had any points off takeaways all season long. On 2nd and 10, Clausen setting up a screen. Jonathan Stewart is stopped by Chris Harris and Brian Urlacher. Let's check out Jacksonville at Buffalo. Here's Kurt Menefee.
Jacksonville is trading touchdowns in the second half. This one from David Garrard to Mike Sims-Walker puts the Jaguars on top, 27-20 in the 4th quarter. But Sam and Tim, the Jaguar offense right now without Maurice Jones-Drew, who left the game with an injury.
That's a big loss. Thanks, Kurt. Jacksonville is 2-2. Buffalo 0-4. Dante Rosario, the tight end, splits out. Clausen out of the shotgun on 3rd and 6. Everybody out. Flag on the play. Clausen trying to run for it. Dives forward, but he's short of the first down. At the 35, Matt Toino was there to stop him.
Might get the Bears lining up in the neutral zone.
You got it.
Still third down.
So the Bears make a couple of mistakes, take a penalty here. So they'll replay third down. It'll be 3rd and 1 for Carolina as Lovie Smith looks on.
It's incredible when you think about Carolina and the number of times their defense has given them the ball back offensively after a turnover, and they haven't been able to capitalize. We showed the numbers earlier. They are still 0 on the season after what we call a sudden change. After a takeaway, they have been unable to capitalize. 0 points on the year.
And straight ahead, the fullback, Tony Fiametta, for a first down. As he gets to the 31-yard line, good blocking up front. Wharton, Khalil, and Bernardo doing a good job ahead of the fullback, Tony Fiametta. So the Panthers, who had a sustained drive in their first possession, drove inside the Bears 10, but kept it on the ground, had it settle for a field goal, now with a chance to get some points. Jonathan Stewart in the backfield. Clausen, short drop. He hits LaFell. LaFell drops it as he was wrapped up by Charles Tillman.
That's a very, very good throw by Jimmy Clausen. He saw what he wanted out on the edge, and LaFell's got to catch it. And Tillman is a terrific guy in terms of knocking the ball out and getting his hands in there. He once told us it's see ball, get ball. Go knock it out. But LaFell, we've seen a couple of times today with opportunities to make plays, and he's been unable to get it done.
On 2nd and 10, Jonathan Stewart ran into Lance Briggs. And Briggs doesn't move much when you run into him.
And neither does 28 at 235 pounds.
That's a good collision.
Ooh.
Career leader in sacks, blocked kicks, forced fumbles. Clausen on first down to D'Angelo Williams. Two men converge. Brian Ewu, number 52, who's replaced the injured Lance Briggs. Briggs has stayed out. He's got an ankle injury, and Brian Ewu replacing him. Jennings helped out on the tackle as well.
We talked earlier about first down and the inability to really move it on first down. Look at what's happened today. Chicago 6.6 yards on first down. Carolina 1.5. Pretty amazing number again when you think of how first down really relates to the rest of the drive.
Off the play fake. Clausen in trouble. They've got him. Tino Samoa. The ball came loose. It's ruled down. It's ruled down by Mike Carey. Piece of Tino Samoa with a sack on Jimmy Clausen. And the Bears always looking for the football and always looking for something to return on defense.
Very good job by Tino Samoa. He's going to come here. He's going to go head up with the fullback, Tony Fiametta. Gets right to the edge, gets rid of him, and then gets himself the sack right there. Very, very good find. He was hurt last year, most of the year. Of course, Lovey knew him from the St. Louis days. And he's come over here to Chicago. He's given him a big shot in the arm, Sam, on defense.
4th sack of the game for the Bears. They had 4 coming into this game total. And more pressure and another sack. It's Israel Adonijah with his 2nd of the game and 3rd of the season. So the Bears with back-to-back sacks push the Panthers back from the 47-yard line back to the 26.
I'd love to be the guy on the other side of Julius Peppers.
But he's always coaching up the defensive linemen.
He's pretty happy today with the sack numbers. I can guarantee you that.
Matt Forte on first down with a good gain up to the 32-yard line.
Rod is wall-to-wall ball. I mean, he's one of those guys all ball all the time. He loves the game. He's been a head coach with the Detroit Lions, as we know. But you think of what Julius Peppers talking about him. He said Rod's always got something. He's always coaching it up, and just talked about some of the things that Rod always tells him. He said, number 1, you have to have get off. Number 2, you better have your move area. And number 3, you got to finish. He said Rod's helped him out quite a bit with his football intelligence this year.
Haney out of the shotgun, hands to Forte as the Bears keep it on the ground. Forte gets 4, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 1
And talking football intelligence, that's underrated in this league. We all talk about, everybody's got physical ability. Sam, this league, 80% of it's from the neck up. And when you got football intelligence at every position, whether you're O-line, D-line, the perimeter guy, it doesn't matter. You know what to anticipate based on formation and on your scouting report, and Rod has certainly helped that.
Chester Taylor in. It's his 3rd and 1 for the Bears. Taylor behind Monomalayuna. First down. Good block by Monomalayuna. Dan Connor made the tackle, but Chester Taylor gets a first down, and the Bears needed that offensively just to get something going. And they have struggled with their offense here in the second half. It had been 3 3-and-outs for the Bears with an interception on their first 4 possessions.
You see the orange line here, Sam? This is 5 yards. This is what every offense shoots for in pro football on first down. Defense trying to keep them short of that. Offense trying to achieve it.
Taylor gets that 5 yards and a little more.
Yeah, and now look. You got 2nd and 1 or 2nd and 2.
Pick up to the 48-yard line. Charles Godfrey on the tackle, but the Bears going back to the running game, which has been effective for them. Close to 200 yards rushing in the game. Mike Martz probably with some encouragement from the head coach, Lovie Smith, because when things go bad, Lovie goes to the run game. He feels much more comfortable with that, and things went bad for the Bears last week.
Yeah, that was clear. Lovie didn't know how many sacks there were. It looked for a deep shot here. It's really a throwaway down at 2nd and 1 here. Let's see if they take one deep and try to put a shot in the end zone.
3 wide receivers in. Hand it to Forte. He's got a first down into Panthers territory. Time to update the Falcons and the Browns. Here's Kurt Menefee.
Atlanta loves defensive end Troy Bierman, and here's why. Blocks the Jake Malone pass, intercepts it, and then gets up and runs it in for a 31-yard score. What a play. Falcons on top of Cleveland, 20-10 in the 4th quarter. Sam and Tim.
He looked like Tim Ryan on
Troy
that play.
Bierman. Troy Bierman.
Oh, man.
Smitty, Mike Smith has got those guys really playing good football collectively as a team this year.
It's a good race developing in the NFC South. Bears with a first down at the 49. A little toss to Forte. A couple of blocks. He's hit down hard. Good tackle by Richard Marshall and Nick Hayden.
Nick Hayden's playing the best game I've ever seen him play as a Carolina Panther. It's not even close. Guy was a late draft choice, came in here last year. They've been looking to upgrade that interior on their defensive line really since Chris Jenkins left. You think of the defensive tackle play here with the Carolina Panthers has been subpar. Nick Hayden, I'll tell you, he's having a dynamite game here today for the Panthers.
Bears running the ball, controlling the clock now with an 11-point lead, and keeping the ball away from Carolina. Bears have rushed for 203 yards in the game. Blitz coming. Chester Taylor, but he ran right into Dan Connor, and the tackle made at the 45-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down for the Bears.
Nick Hayden in the mix again on that one? Sure was.
Probably was. Hayden, 6'4", 292, his 2nd year out of Wisconsin. He comes to the sideline.
Now it's time to rush the passer.
That's
Nick.
right.
You're out.
3rd and 6. Bears have to get to the 39 for a first down. Taylor in the backfield, 3 wide receivers. Haney gets time. Good blocking, and he finds a man, Johnny Knox. Knox stays in bounds. Good move by Johnny Knox. Stays in bounds and gets a first down. The clock keeps moving, and Haney with a nice throw to Johnny Knox.
Johnny Knox can absolutely fly. He averages over 20 yards a catch. Inside receiver is going to go this way. Look at the cushion here. He's just going to go here, and he's just going to eat it up and come right back inside. Look at that. Just a little pivot inside and back to the outside. Captain Munnerlyn worried about the deep speed, and Knox is able to exploit the coverage.
Chester Taylor with a good block, giving protection to Caleb Haney. 13-yard pickup. Johnny Knox's first catch of the game. It's Taylor for a couple of yards just inside the 30-yard line.
I asked Mike Martz last night, and we all know Mike with the greatest show on turf, and Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt and Oz Hakeem and Kurt and all those, Marshall Falk, all those guys. And we know how hard Mike is on receivers. I said, which one of these guys is ready for what you're throwing at him? And he goes, there's no question Johnny Knox has arrived. This guy is ready. You see the number there, highest percentage in the NFL, 6 of 12 over 20 plus. And I think with Mike Martz and his system, you better have the stamina to run routes all day. Very excited they are about Johnny Knox.
Out of the shotgun, Forte back in. Off the play fake. And Haney is bowled over by Richard Marshall, blitzing from the left cornerback position. I don't think Haney was expecting that. Third sack of the game for Carolina.
Damage over at left end today. He had the batted ball and the interception over there.
Matt Forte, short pickup down to the Carolina 49-yard line.
But I think in this league, the best teams, certainly the best defenses, are ones that have a four-man rush. And it's a huge benefit when you can pressure a quarterback by only rushing four. The fearsome foursome there are the Rams. The steel curtain of the Steelers had four guys that came after you. The purple people eaters in Minnesota. Sapp and Rice down in Tampa. Freedy and Mathis in Indianapolis. Jared Allen and Kevin Williams in Minnesota. And you got Julius Peppers, and who else? Where's the second guy?
No.
And Adonijah's been the guy today, but you feel that, you hope Tommy Harris can get it figured out. I know they're excited about Henry Melton. Maybe Peppers is going to need some help.
Maybe Corey Wooten. Good run for a first down by Forte. Great game for Matt Forte. Matt Forte has had a career day. On defense, we mentioned Israel Adonijah.
He may be the running mate. There's one sack. Here's the second sack. And Israel coming into the game today with 8 career sacks. He gets 2 of them. He may be that other guy that Pep needs to take pressure off Julius Peppers. Otherwise, you just turn 2 and 3 on Pep and not worry about any of the other guys.
Matt Forte, 21 carries, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's, to me, is the biggest lift for the Bears, is to see him break out.
No doubt.
Chester Taylor with a good run as the Bears play ball control, wind the clock down with their 11-point lead. Chester Taylor is pitched in. Over 40 yards rushing in the game. Mike Martz, after last week, he took the blame upon himself. He felt in a short week, they had played on Monday. In a short week, he gave his guys too much. Some of the young players, it was too much for them to handle. And he said, we just try to push too much.
Well, the way they were in that game, I mean, you would have thought it was 50-0 the way they were playing it early against the Giants with all the deep passes.
Oh, good play by Dan Connor, the middle linebacker, as he wrapped up Chester Taylor before he could get going. Brings up a third down for the Bears.
John will just keep grinding it out.
Career-long try for Robbie Gould, a 53-yard field goal attempt. On the way, it's got the distance, and it is good. Robbie Gould matches John Casey.
Plenty of leg there. That one could have gone 57-58.
Easily. Third career, 50 yards or more for Robbie Gould. Oh, man, he got it up.
It's another unbelievable when you think of how long these field goal attempts are and how they're able to get them up and get air underneath them.
You know what? The conditions are near perfect. There's no wind, and it's just been a great day here. And Gould with a strong leg. Goodson in the backfield on 2nd and 10. Short drop pass off the leg and intercepted. Intercepted by Brian Urlacher. Was off the leg of Armani Edwards. And an alert play by Brian Urlacher gives the Bears their 2nd interception of the game.
Well, outstanding read from the neck up by Matt Moore. Bad throw on the execution. The slant's right here with Armani Edwards. What's the location of the football, Sam? Right at the right thigh pad. Now, he still should have caught it. It was down right above the right thigh pad. Had his hands down there, but the way it hit and caromed up in the air, Urlacher was right there waiting for it.
So the Bears defense, which is done a good job in the game. Comes up with a takeaway at the Carolina 23-yard line. So the co-division leader is struggling
and loaded with injuries. That's the thing with the Packers right now that you got to worry about if you're a Packer fan.
And Minnesota 1-2 plays at the Jets tomorrow night. Pass complete to the tight end Jeff King. He's brought down at the Bears 45-yard line. Nick Roach in at linebacker made the tackle. Matt Moore is the quarterback for the Panthers. Both teams are out of timeouts. The game was 14 yards. Panthers have a week next week. The Bears will be home against Seattle. Moore throws short to Jeff King, and he's brought down. Short gain on the play.
Tell you, that's one thing when you look at this defense. Always terrific tacklers. Daniel Manning right there. They're going to send the pressure, force you to get it out underneath, and then they just rally up and are such sure tacklers.
Everybody out. Moore throws. Nobody there. Both rookie receivers, LaFell and Geddes, cut inside.
Yeah, there has been.
They went the same route.
There's been mental errors from these young wideouts, these rookie wideouts all day today. And Brandon LaFell has had a few. He's had some drops as well. He was their high pick now coming out of LSU, and even Jimmy Clausen told us the other day, he said, we got to get LaFell involved early. We got to get his confidence up. Clearly, that's something he's lacking here early in the season.
Corey Wooten is in at defensive end on the right side. This is his NFL debut. After being inactive the first 4 games, short pass is complete to David Clowney. Clowney down to the 40-yard line. Panthers can't stop the clock. 1 minute remaining in the game. Moore works out of the shotgun. Jeff King is wrapped up by the safety Chris Harris. The former teammates when Harris was here for 3 years. So the Bears bounce back after a horrible game last week in New York. And will win this one. That pass juggled by Geddes. He holds on. He's brought down by DJ Moore. Clock running.
Clock it.
And it's spiked by Matt Moore. 14 seconds to go. Our producer is Mike Burks. Our director is Greg Scopatoni. The associate director is Tom Yohe. Broadcast associate Matt Saldana. The studio show produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. The associate director is Stephanie Medina. The highlights coordinator Janice Casaza. The studio technical supervisor is Jack Simmons. Spotter in the booth is Gary Lynn. And our statistician in the booth is Emmett McGuire. Post game brought to you by AT&T. Coming up next, stay tuned. Mike Goodson, the running back, splits out. Empty backfield. They'll send 5 receivers down the field. Moore throws, and it is intercepted. Intercepted by Charles Tillman. Goes to the ground, and the Bears get one more pick to wind it up. 3rd interception of the game for the Bears. 1 by Julius Peppers, 1 by Brian Urlacher, 1 for Charles Tillman. A lot of good things for the Bears. Return game was excellent. The running game was excellent.
They got through with those 2 rookie offensive linemen over on the right side, Edwin Williams and Jamarcus Webb. And that will prove to pay dividends, I think, down the road.
Congratulations all around for the Chicago Bears, who are now 4-1. The Carolina Panthers, for the 2nd time in their history, go to 0-5. 23-6. Lovie Smith's team comes up with a win. Good return for Julius Peppers. We'll be back here in Charlotte in just a moment.